How are you all? Welcome back to our online class. Today is 14th April 2021. We are doing revision. Children, we are doing biogeochemical cycle, the last lesson of the reader. We will start a revision from the last lesson, okay? If you have any doubts, listen it properly, answer the question answers. Once more, we are doing revision for you all, okay? Biogeochemical cycle, a constant interaction between the biotic and abiotic components of the biosphere makes it a dynamic but stable system. These interactions consist of transfer of matter and energy between the different components of biosphere. Biogeochemical pathways determine the path of transfer of matter on Earth. Let us look at some of the major biogeochemical cycles. Biogeochemical cycles, as we may say from the names itself, includes both biological and geological or chemical or physicochemical pathways. This means the reservoir or pool of nutrients on the earth may contain some chemicals of biological origin, while others may be purely inorganic in nature. Also may be geochemical, obtained from the rocks and soil in the origin. Water, though not considered as biogeochemical cycle by most ecologists, actually is the precursor of the major elements hydrogen and oxygen, as some living organisms use them for making the basic food molecules for several organisms in nature. Water is also a universal solvent and essential for various reactions to take place within a living cell. Thus, we shall also take up water cycle briefly in this chapter, okay? Though the nutrient pool involves several elements of nature, but we shall study just the cycling of some major elements like oxygen, nitrogen and the carbon. What about water cycle? You'll have studied in 5th, 6th standard, I think. How water goes up in the clouds as, isn't it, evaporation, then it comes down like condensation in the form of water droplets, which becomes clouds. Same cycle, okay? All the water that is on the earth has always been here. Earth never gets water added to it, nor does water disappear from the earth. Water is constantly recycled in a process called hydrological or water cycle. 97% of all water on the earth is in the oceans, and so only about 3% is the fresh water. About 2% of this fresh water is permanently frozen in glaciers at the polar ice caps. Thus, only about 1% of available fresh water. Again, about 1/4 of this 1% is present as groundwater. Only about 0.009% of water on the earth is in the rivers and lakes. Rest is present in the bodies of living organisms and soil moisture as humidity of atmosphere, etc. Water is most essential abundant substance in living things. The human body, for example, is composed of about 70% water. Remember, all organisms together constitute only 0.005% of water on earth. Water participates in many biochemical mechanisms, including photosynthesis, okay, digestion and cellular respiration. It is also the habitat of many species of plants and animals and microorganisms, and it participates in the cycling of the material. Water cycle, see it in the diagram properly. Earth never gets water added, nor water gets disappear from the earth. So it is called hydrological or water cycle. Fresh water is more scarce than you think. You have seen how water evaporates from the water bodies in the form of water vapor, and the subsequent condensation of this water vapor leads to earth. The whole process in which water evaporates and falls back on the surface of the earth as rain and other forms of precipitation includes its flow from land into via several routes like river, groundwater, channels, etc. is known as the water cycle. This cycle is not as straightforward and simple as this statement seems to imply. All the water that falls on the land does not immediately flow back into the sea. Some of it sinks into the soil and becomes part of the underground reservoir of fresh water. Some of this underground water finds its way to the surface through the springs, or we bring it to the surface for our use through wells or tube wells. Water is also used by terrestrial animals. Terrestrial means what, children? Which live on land, and plants for various life processes. Water provides hydrogen and oxygen that form integral part of basic organic compounds of life. Let us look at another aspect of what happens to water during the water cycle. As you know, water is capable of dissolving a large number of substances. Thus, it cleans the environment as it rains, and the water-soluble pollutants are transported to it. Got it? Like water cycle, next important cycle in this lesson is the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is both the most abundant element in the atmosphere and a building block of proteins and nucleic acids. The nitrogen cycle is a complex biogeochemical cycle in which nitrogen is converted into inert atmospheric molecular form N2 into a form that is useful in biological processes. Got it, children? The element nitrogen is constantly moving in a giant circle from the air through the soil into the bodies of plants and animals, and eventually back to the air by the process of nitrogen cycle. All living things need nitrogen, mainly for growth, repair and development. Nitrogen being essential for protein formation. Even though the Earth's atmosphere is made up of 78% nitrogen, plants and animals cannot use it in this form. The atmospheric nitrogen is, water is capable of dissolving a large number of substances. Thus, it cleans the environment as it rains. Okay, and water soluble pollutants are transported to different water bodies like lakes and oceans in water cycle. They dilute the pollutants also as water flows through or over the rocks containing soluble minerals. Some of them get dissolved in water. Thus, rivers carry many nutrients from lands to sea, and some of these are used by marine organisms, and rest of these get deposited, which takes a longer time to cycle. The atmospheric nitrogen is thus converted into certain compounds which plants may take up from the soil by some biochemical process caused by certain bacteria like Rhizobium, Nitrosomonas, etc., and physiochemical processes caused by lightning. Animals get the required amount of nitrogen from the plants, either directly by herbivores or indirectly carnivores. Next is the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen fixation takes place in first step. Most atmospheric nitrogen is fixed through biological processes. A number of bacteria and blue-green algae are known to be able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the compounds in their own body. These may be symbiotic Rhizobium or free-living Nitrosomonas, respectively. These organisms convert atmospheric nitrogen from the atmosphere into organic nitrogen for their own cells. As they die rapidly, they grow rapidly as well. This nitrogen, now present in the soil as compounds, become available to the plants. In leguminous plants like pea, beans, etc., there is a symbiotic relationship of the nitrogen fixing bacteria with the plant. Thus, nitrogenous compounds are added to the soil after a leguminous crop is grown. Nitrogen can be fixed as nitrates by lightning. This reaches the soil and water through precipitation that follows. Nitrates are taken up by plants to form proteins and nucleic acid. Second point is the nitrification. Nitrates can also be converted to ammonia. NH3 is a formula by the denitrifying bacteria in the soil, especially in waterlogged soils. The nitrifying bacteria can then use this ammonia to synthesize compounds from their own cell and eventually convert to proteins, nucleic acids, nitrites and nitrates. Nitrites are produced mainly by nitrosomonas. Remember the names. Nitrites are produced by nitrosomonas, while nitrates are produced by nitrobacters. They that are also capable of utilizing nitrites and converting them to nitrates. Nitrates, death of these microorganisms and nitrogenous compounds to the soil. Plants take up nitrate as well as ammonium ions from the soil to convert them to proteins and nucleic acid. Understood this diagram? See children properly. Okay, thunder, lightning, nitrogen fixation, all should know this diagram. Atmospheric nitrogen, arrows drawing denitrifying bacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria from soil nitrogen. Okay, this also. Nitrates become ammonia by denitrifying bacteria. Ammonia becomes nitrite by nitrosomonas. Nitrite becomes nitrate by nitrobacter. Nitrate becomes plants. Understood? Learn it properly. Assimilation is the third step of nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen compounds mainly as nitrates or ammonia, ammonium ions, NH4 plus, are taken up from soil by plants, which are then used in. Okay. Homework for today. First one, what is the importance of different biochemical cycles in the nature? What emissions from human activities lead to ozone depletion? And what are the principal steps in stratospheric ozone depletion caused by human activities? Why could we say that biogeochemical cycles are in balance? If all the vegetation in the bonds dead, what effects would it have on the animals? Why? Write an experiment to prove the greenhouse effect on the temperature and send me the homework by evening, children, 6 o'clock. See you in the next class. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.